Big news. I have some important news for you.
Interesting news.
It's Blake and Darren's Spilling the Tea with Sandy.
Cayman's top news headlines of the day from CMR.
Well, good morning, Sandy.
Good morning, Blake. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Excellent. What do you got for us this morning?
We've got a few things. First of all, let's start off with a bit of good news. The Cayman Islands may have its first ever Cambridge Law student, Miss Rhianna Pregnant, who's the daughter of Ralston Anglin, and his wife has a conditional acceptance letter to Cambridge Law pending her final results of her exams. Yeah, this is a big deal. Ivy League schools, and lots of people are excited about the very, very good news, including obviously her parents.
Yeah, that's huge news for their family. That's awesome.
Yeah. Mr. Ralston took to Facebook where he said that Sheena, which is his former wife, and I are very proud of Serena, and that she set her goals of becoming a lawyer and attending Cambridge all on her own at a very young age, and then we watched her blossom before their very own eyes. So congratulations to her.
Fantastic.
And
bravo.
Yeah, very, very proud moment for everyone. Rhianna, a little celebrity news. I'm sure you guys might get into this a little bit later on. But she's
we talked about it.
And everybody's so excited about this.
Yeah, we were talking about it a little bit earlier. That's awesome. Her and ASAP Rocky expecting her first child. So
yeah, so congrats there.
We were just discussing because she's 33, so it's a perfect time for her to be a mommy. She's done a lot of her hard work already. She's worth $1.7 billion. Wow. So happy family.
Yes, wow. So making headlines yesterday, we're going to give a shout out to CNS. Actually, they dropped a bomb about the Office of the Auditor General putting out this report about the Dubai World Expo. And quite a few things in the report that were very, very interesting. Actually, Wendy is going to join us tomorrow to kind of delve into it a little bit more. But it doesn't look very good for the previous administration, the previous elected government, basically saying that they committed $6 million to overseas promotions during the election season. And there's lots of not so good information in there. It looks a bit dodgy, and there's an undercurrent of dodginess. Now, CNS managed to get the report before its official release. Someone kind of dropped it to them, and it's not a good look. So we're gonna, things like the PAC administration raising concerns regarding the timing of the establishment of these overseas offices and World Expo, which cost $2.5 million. They thought it was very, very interesting that it was so close to the general election, which was also called early. Chief Officer of the Ministry, Mr. Eric Bush, had signed a contract for the husband of the Deputy Chief Officer in his ministry to take up a temporary job of Commissioner of the Dubai Expo. So there's a lot of things in it that don't look good. And Chief Officer Bush's name is all over this report.
So you're discussing that today or tomorrow?
We're going to discuss that tomorrow because that's hot tamales.
Did you ever find out, is there any update on the Cayman Airways Cuba debacle?
No, we've not heard anything from Cayman Airways. We talked about it in quite a bit detail yesterday.
So
no updates. Sorry?
They're still stranded in Cuba? Some of our nationals?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a crazy story.
No resolution in sight as far as I know. Cayman Airways certainly hasn't said anything, so we don't know. It's a very bizarre situation.
Is there any comment from the office of I'm sure the governor is involved at some level?
I can certainly ask his office, but they haven't said anything officially.
Yeah.
So,
well, if you've got nationals, Cayman nationals stuck in a country and they can't leave, I'm sure that the government needs to get involved. Yeah.
I mean, quite frankly, anywhere else in the world, that would be an international, disaster.
Well, hey, I mean, this is nothing new to Martin Roper either. He's dealt with things like this before, a lot worse. So, anyway, I'd be curious to get an update on what's happening for those
We
people.
will certainly do our best. I've just reached out to a few people in the governor's office. We'll see what we can find out, but nothing official. Maybe they're having behind the scenes talks on it. So Pfizer is looking for, quite interestingly enough, they're looking to get approval from the FDA to authorize their vaccine for children under 5.
That's good.
So starting with 6 months old, 6 months up to 5
Oh,
years old.
wow.
Yeah. So they announced that, apparently 2 doses of the vaccine given at a 10th of the amount of an adult dose did not produce a strong enough immune system in children ages 2 to 4. So they have been tweaking it. And they say that now they're ready for children to get it.
Okay.
So that's expected to happen possibly today.
Oh, wow. That'd be big news.
6 months to 4 years old.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. And Moderna.
Now, will you have Gigi get it?
This is one of those things where it's always tough when it comes to kids. I'm never the first in line.
Right. Because she's had it now. She has antibodies.
Well, I think she probably had Delta.
Okay.
Probably didn't have Omicron, which means that she has no.
Well, Delta was worse.
So yeah, but then she also has no protection against Omicron at all. She has no, it's like you never had it. So, we'll see. It's
a good question, right? I don't know how I feel about it either. My wife is, she's like, that's another vaccine. Miles gets vaccines all the time, and
I want to read. I haven't, to be honest, delved into any of the data to support the application.
Yeah,
so probably would have.
It's a difference, though, right? I mean, the vaccines that our kids normally get for school and for whatever are tried and true, right? You never want to hear like, "Hey, we've been tweaking it; it's good to go now." I don't want to be first in line.
I'm also very cognizant of the fact that we've never really questioned what our kids were getting in terms of vaccines, hardly ever.
That's true.
And when they came out, they probably didn't even have as much research as the ones that we're administering now would have had. So, there's always the brain plays these little tricks on you that you've got to be very aware of. So I try to be as objective as possible in the decision-making process, although with your children, it is extremely difficult. And Moderna is also seeking final approval for, final authorization for their vaccine as well. So lots happening over the next couple of days in the world of vaccines. So super, super interesting. So they're going to hopefully be granted they actually were granted, my apologies, finally full approval for their vaccine as of yesterday. So that happened as well.
Great news.
So that's a bit of good news.
Busy show today for you.
Sorry?
Busy show for you today.
Yeah. Lots and lots going on. Daily public health PCR testing, they've issued their schedule and they are actually taking the flu clinic. So this is a big announcement in case you need to go to the flu clinic. That has returned to the hospital next to the A&E. So if you need to go to the flu clinic, that is the new location. So they kind of keep changing things around. I feel like it's a little bit of
keeping it fresh.
Trying to keep up with where everything is, but yeah.
All right. Well, catch CMR on Facebook and YouTube and on Bobo 89.1 FM.
I'm so excited about that.
Hopefully sometime this month because we are now in February.
Yes.
And we'll catch you tomorrow on our show right here about 7:25. All right.
Have a good one.
You too. And our segment was
Bobo. I feel like I need to say that. Bobo coming. Come on down, Bobo. Come on down. All right. Buenos dias. Good morning. Let's play our morning jingle. That'll give me an opportunity to get some water, which I'm going to need this morning. Good morning.
You're now tuned in to the cold, hard truth. Cayman's #1 hard-hitting live podcast show, where we feature some straightforward conversations on political, social, and celebrity news and all things happening in the Cayman Islands and around the world. This show was created to give the people a voice and a means of being involved and informed without any filters. Sometimes it gets crazy, but we always keep it real. We bring you the tea, piping hot, so grab your favorite beverage and join the conversation via WhatsApp at 324-1612. Email tips@caymanmarlroad.com. Now, here's your host, Sandy Hill, broadcasting live from the beautiful Cayman Islands.
All right, folks. Good morning. Good morning. How is everyone doing? Hope you guys are having a fabulous. Oh, I see an error on this. I hope you guys are having a fabulous, fabulous day. Need to make a slight correction in an email, y'all. Well, go on, good folks. Right, slight correction. All right. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Always read stuff before you sign it, because sometimes you need a little bit of a correction. Yes, it's important that you read things, Jill. So we put that in the garbage until we can get a correction. Who is with me this beautiful Tuesday morning? Tuesday, February the 1st, folks. Look at that. Boom. It's here. It's already February. I couldn't find my straws because I have them all soaking. You guys know I like to use a reusable straw. It's better for the environment. So I have my daughter's little cloud straw. I don't know if that's supposed to be a little character, but look at this. It actually matches. It's got a little twirly thing though, so it doesn't fit all the way down my little miniature hole. But you know what? I think I might have to take that out to properly. Uh-oh. Don't tell me it's stuck in there already. Ooh, I better not break her straw, child. Because she'll be like, Mommy, you broke my straw. All right, there we go. All right, it's all right. It's all right. Disaster averted. Good morning, Evelyn. How are you? Marshall, Elizabeth, Diamond Princess, Olivia, buenos dias. Leroy, I saw you at court yesterday. Why were you at court? I was circling trying to find parking. And by the time I came back, Leroy was gone already. I was like, where'd Leroy go? Chantal, Miss Jackie. Eve is also expecting her first child. Which Eve? Eve, the singer? Wow. How old is Eve, though? I feel like she's kind of up in age. Eve and her husband, Maximilian Cooper. 42 years old? Wow. Oh, she looks beautiful. Look at her. Yeah, nice. Wow. 43 versus 33 is a big age difference. That was me, child, at 40. How old was I? Was I 42? It was a week before my birthday. I think it was a week before my... What year was that again? Child, I can't remember. The time just flies by. What year are we in now? We're in 2022. So, oh God, I always have to think about how old I am. How old was I in 2016? I think I was 41. Going on 42. No, I was 42. Going on 43. Same age as Eve then. You just got to be careful, folks. When you reach a certain age, don't take anything for granted when it comes to pregnancies. Like, you got to make sure you're getting all your checks and your this and your that and everything, because it's high risk. It's higher risk for sure. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it for most people. Wasn't particularly difficult for me myself, but just the fear factor of like something going wrong because of your age, because everything increases with age, folks. All sorts of things. So good luck to Eve. Thank you for letting us know that, Marshall. Wee. Good morning. Nice weather, yes. Larry, good morning. Diamond Princess said good morning to all. Have a safe and blessed, beautiful day. Love this weather. Me too, but I'm like, I want it to be a little bit cooler. Anybody else feeling like they could do with a little further drop in the temperature? Like, I'm like, can we get a little bit more, like 5 degrees more? I'm ready for it. Because I'm like inside, I don't feel any different. And when I go outside, I feel more of like the wind, which right now, yeah, it's a little bit of an overcast. So Diamond Princess says, since they changed the isolation period to 6 days and retest on the 7th day, how many people have been given a negative result? All who I spoke to still have to isolate. Yeah, listen, I don't think that it's probably going to make a huge difference for most people. Quite frankly, because most people are going to have a lot of the virus anyway. So it's just for the occasional, I don't know what percentage. This is one of the questions that we can ask Dr. Newton when she comes in the program, but I don't really know what percentage of people would be over this in 6 days. I don't know. Because, hey, I think even with, the regular flu, sometimes that lingers forever. Good morning, Virtuous. Good morning, Catherine. Siobhan is here. Richard is here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Louis, heading into a snowstorm. That's that February storm we were telling you guys about yesterday. 5 to 9 inches expected in his area alone. Whoa. Leonida, good morning. Good morning, Barbara. Chantal says once you test positive, no reason to do another test. You can be positive for 90 days after, because if you have had COVID, then the viral load can remain in your system. Came out as crazy in this part testing. Well, they want it to drop to a certain number. So it's not just Cayman that requires an exit test. There's still a lot of people actually who are doing it. So lots of countries, I should say. And there are some countries who have abandoned it, but those are also countries where it's really, really quite rampant. And I don't want people to be misinformed about the position either. So, the headlines for the U.S., for example, is saying that the U.S. is still facing overwhelmed hospitals and more than 2,500 deaths a day. So I think the question becomes, if you guys want to just abandon all the protocols, which some people are saying, let's just forget it. No mask wearing, no this or that. Are you guys okay with people starting to really die? Because this is the balancing act that the government is attempting to achieve, and they don't want those high death numbers. But if you guys are okay with it, and the vast majority of people saying, hey, I don't mind if my elderly mom dies from COVID, that's fine. She's going out anyway. Maybe that's how y'all are beginning to feel from this situation. And I say that a little bit tongue in cheek, because I know once it happens to you, then all of a sudden you're like, what more could the government have done? So, y'all think the government's crazy for still having these precautions in place until, unfortunately, someone close to you is on that ventilator dying. And then all of a sudden you're like, no, we need more precautions. We need this, we need that. So the government is just trying to toe the line. Buenos dias, Elizabeth. Hello, Felicia. Dawn, 2 mornings in a row for me and my morning tea. Ooh, nice, Dawn. Thank you for joining us. Good morning to Marva. Celine, buenos dias. Good morning, Flashpoint. Flashpoint comes out with the big shots. Papa, boom, boom. Says, was the governor aware of the OAG report when he was out and about promoting and praising Sir Alden and his knighthood? Woo! Lord have mercy. The temperature just got a little bit hotter up in here. I don't know how much they tell the governor about these things. Is he privy to these reports? But I do know that there has been an investigation that has been going on for quite some time. And I think the governor is involved in this investigation. And I'm told by sources that understand it, because I'm still trying to pull out information out of somebody. And this is what I'm told when I ask questions. I'm told this is a Section 55 issue as part of the governor's special responsibilities. So this investigation, not necessarily with this report, but there's an investigation into something with the civil service, and a top civil servant is a Section 55 investigation. And I don't even know what that means. I think that means that it's so top level and secretive that it falls under the governor, just like the one out of the DPP's office, which went nowhere. That was a complete waste of time. And it's quite interesting, I must say, that, these things happen the way that they do. Sir Alden, we can delve into the report. The report, this section isn't particularly long. It's only 19 pages long, actually. But in the 19 pages is a lot. And I want us to spend all of tomorrow looking at it and delving through it. Now, I've invited Wendy Ledger because I want to give Wendy her kudos, her credit. This is a Wendy Ledger story. Somebody got her that report early. They didn't send it to CMR, child. They sent it to Wendy Ledger, and she was able to do the story. So, and provide us with the report. And then we were able to do a story based on that. So congratulations to Wendy. You see, these secret leaks help everybody in the end know the truth. So Marva says Sir Alden and Eric Bush and the rest of the team have certainly left the Cayman people looking like WTH. OMG, can you imagine giving them another 4 years? Now I know their supporters are going to be here talking about, no, there's an explanation for this. Let's overlook all the stuff that's in this report. This report is probably as damning as you can get without calling somebody a fraudster, without using those terms. It's not a good look. It's not a good look at all. There is accusations basically of like nepotism and all that sort of stuff. You know, there's certain things that you do not do because of the very appearance of it. So I got to be honest with you. Even after the election, someone said to me, oh, you know, what board would you like to sit on? I was like, pump the brakes. Do not even ask me that question. I have no interest in sitting on a government board because I can hear it now. The donkeys of the world, like Mario Rankin. Oh, see, I can't get a seat, but look at Sandra. Even if I were qualified to sit on a board, it just would not be right for so many reasons. Number one, I'm media, and I need to remain as independent as possible. And I suspect there'd probably be very few boards that I could sit on, that something might not come up on the board that I'm going to go, now that's an interesting news story, right? And I couldn't do that. That would be a conflict of interest. I'd never be able to write about anything about that board. Maybe that would be a way to shut me up, like put me on the Caves Foundation board, because y'all, we got to talk about Caves Foundation this morning. I forgot to put them on the list, but that's a hot mess over there still. Have they changed the board for Caves Foundation yet? What are they waiting on if they haven't? I need to inquire. But yes, honey child, I said no, thank you. I pulled a Gianna on him. She's so polite when she says no. She'll be like, you know, my friend was pulling my ponytail at school, and I said no, thank you. Like whenever you do something she doesn't want you to do, she's being taught very politely at school to say no, thank you. And I suppose that's the first line of defense. Just tell somebody no. I'm not interested. No, thank you. And then after that, Mommy Sandy might have to teach her if they continue to do things. The next response might be a little bit more firm than a no, thank you. And she says it so sweetly. No, thank you. But yes, honey child, nepotism up in the government. Ooh, la, 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 la. And quite frankly, there's a story that we're going to drop today about some gold smuggling that has been going on. Y'all are going to find this very, very interesting. Because the headlines went something like CEO of Miami Armored Car Company pleads guilty in $140 million dirty gold smuggling scheme. What the hell? Yeah, that story's out there and got Cayman all over it. And y'all wonder why we're still on the AML. Oh, we better watch them lists. Of course they better watch us. Because quite frankly, we are allowing some real shenanigans to go on around the place. I'll let y'all know when that story goes up on the website. But needless to say, Cayman be trying to jump on the Bitcoin bandwagon and the this and the that. And wow. No, sir. It's not good. Let me just put it that way. It's not a good look for anybody. And, you know, it's certainly not a good look for the Cayman Islands when we have companies here, whether they claim that they're mining gold or whatever the heck they're doing, that we don't even have a clue. So this is Jesus Gabriel is his name, Rodriguez. And yeah, we need to keep an eye on him. Well, he's going to jail. We don't have to keep an eye on him anymore. He is off to jail, folks. But yeah, this isn't good. You know, we have a couple companies here that claim that they're storing gold and all sorts of stuff. And yeah, they might be storing gold, but you have to be careful where the source of that gold is. You know, a lot of countries like Venezuela and stuff, they're into like hiding money and hiding gold and all these sorts of things. And so one has to wonder where the gold is going, like straight up gold bars. $140 million. That's a lot of money in dirty gold. So one of the transport points apparently was actually the Cayman Islands. I'm just saying. He went from Curacao to the Cayman Islands. Yes, we're mentioned in the story. And then brought back to the US of A. Mm-hmm. Good morning, Larry. Good morning, Damaris. How are you? Omeria, pleasant good morning to you. She says, it's been a while, but honey child, I've been watching and sipping my tea. Ooh, yes, girl. I have a friend who's like, child, every time you say honey child, I cracks up because I be saying it the exact same time as you. What a hot mess. Linda, good morning. Says, unfortunately, they do have 4 years in Parliament and paid for by the general public. Their current job is also very important for the country. A very good point. I mean, touche. You've got a valid point, darling. And not only that, but might I say that they're hardly doing anything for the salary that they're getting right now. Anybody else notice them MIA at the most recent Heroes Day? I heard that one was in isolation for COVID, but where was everybody else? Where were they? Where was Alden? On the farm again? That farm must have got some good stuff on it. I don't know what he's farming, but he's more interested in what's happening on the farm. Marshall says that's politicians the world over, their deputies and chief officers are all corrupt. Well, it's not a good look. You guys know right now the U.S. is looking into President Trump for a number of different things. Ooh, that man. Unfortunately. All right. Okay, Flashpoint says, was the governor aware that there were allegations that Dr. Lee might not have been 100% truthful when given sworn testimony before recommended? Probably not in that case. I'm just thinking about the Doctor Express because that would have only been revealed during the trial because as you will recall, what actually happened during the trial is it seems like they were hiding an email, a singular email, which was the one that made Dr. Lee and the gang look the worst. And that came out during the trial only after their attorneys were like, we know that this email exists. Where is it? I'm always surprised when lawyers do shit what am I saying? Why should I be surprised? Lawyers and shady. But I mean, when they do it in a court of law, because judges don't like that sort of thing. I haven't heard anything. Flashpoint is probably, the negotiations are probably ongoing, but let's just say that government is probably going to have to pay them a pretty penny. Reputational damage, loss of revenue, blah, blah, blah. Ay. Marva says missing at all times. Lord. Hello, Perla. She's also enjoying the weather. Virtua says, tell them you're already on your board. We need strong people in the field to find out what's going on. Yes, honey child. I don't need no board appointment. I said, I was very, very gracious. I said, thank you for the offer, but honestly, no, thank you. I said it with a Gianna. No, thank you. Good morning, Bob. Okay. Ooh, these caretaker agency boards. I don't think there is such a board, is there? They just get a business license and do whatever the hell they want. All right. Let's talk about a few things. First of all, I got a bone to pick with bad drivers. Now, I saw some people on Facebook who were very, very confused about this. So I thought, let me explain the video, because I suspect the only reason you could be confused about this is because you look at the video wrong. Okay? So I wish to break it down this morning for the benefit of anyone who is questioning this jackass of the day yesterday. Now, let's have a look at it here. Pause right there. Let me back it up. So this is actually me driving. And this is how I know exactly what happened, because I was driving. This is not no here, say, come back 2 times around the block. This is firsthand accounts of what happened. So I am driving. I actually went to Wendy's. Yes, I did. And I got me a salad and a burger. And Gianna got some chicken nuggets. I'm like, okay, let's just get home. Hubby was working late. I really couldn't be bothered with trying to do anything else with dinner. I was like, oh, I'm just going to go home. All right. So I'm driving out of the gas station. So I went to Wendy's, and then I come around, go through the exit properly like I'm supposed to. And here I am coming out of the gas station. Now, what are the chances? I guess these Honda Fits are really, really popular. But what are the chances that you're going to have 2 Honda Fits behind you with the exact same color? Now, I think 2 things is happening here based on the confusion that I saw in the comments. Number one, some people seem to think that this is the front camera, and this is actually the rear camera. And I'm going to explain that here in a second. And I really don't know what else is confusing people. That someone says, look at the details. The Fit was there, was the first car that was recording, push away. Like, I'm like, this is a back camera. I don't understand. How can the Honda Fit be there first pushing away when this is my rear camera? So this is behind me. Now, for you all to understand, I have a 3 camera system in my car. Okay. So it is a dash cam that has 3 separate cameras, and one is in the back of the vehicle. So this is my rear view angle. So I'm pulling out. This is a Honda Fit who's right behind me. This is not the Honda Fit that I'm talking about. So this one with 205813, completely fine. She is waiting on me in front of her to pull out into the intersection. And listen, there have been some major accidents at that intersection that you really, really need to be careful about, right? Like those people coming down from the east. And I've even seen people come like down the wrong way. Like it's mass confusion if you're not careful. So you got to really pay attention at that intersection. People will slam into you like doing 50. So I'm very, very cautious at this intersection. Now look at this. See the Honda Fit that is coming out after everyone? This second Honda Fit, which is now to her left, should have gotten behind her and lined up in the queue. But look at what he does. He comes to the side of her, the side of me, right? And I start to pull out, and he's pulling out the same time as I'm pulling out. Hello, folks. We are going into a roundabout that is a single lane roundabout. That Savannah roundabout is not 2 lanes. It is too dangerous to expect someone, and it's completely wrong too. You would never have a roundabout where you're allowing traffic on the left to have the right of way over traffic on the right. And then he's also blocking my view, right? So look at what he does. Look at what he does. So he comes up, sneaks up on everybody. There he is. At first, I thought he was going to make a turn and go towards town. He doesn't do that. So you see how he comes in and out of frame in a split second? He actually pulls past me as I'm starting now to cross over, and he's going the same roundabout intersection as me. That's exactly what he did. So that was camera number 2, which is the back camera. And this lady, she's still behind me. Now I pull off. Now you can't see him, but there he is. There he is. So he's like pulling off. He's still behind me because he's trying to pull off at the same time as me. And I cannot tell you how many accidents this sort of behavior causes. So there he is. There's a blue Honda right there. And this is the Honda that I am referring to, folks, not the first one. And then here I am. I'm going to pause. Now, everybody else understands that this is a single lane. So you see the white car, I think that might be another Honda, came in off the main road to turn. The other Honda, who was there patiently waiting, is now coming into the intersection as well. And here's this rogue Honda off to the side that should not be there. Now, I do not know for the world of me how you all explain that Honda is in the right position. Really? This is the kind of nonsense that makes me wonder where you bought your driver's license from. Because you shouldn't have a driver's license if you think this is correct. The police need to issue it. The police said they issued some 79. What did they say? They did how many tickets? 69 tickets over the past 2 weekends. And issued another, and this was just in the eastern districts, by the way, and had another 79 prosecuted. Cayman, y'all the worst drivers in the world. Come on now. This country is too small for this kind of nonsense. Then look at what he does. He doesn't even wait. He continues on. And then he basically overtakes me when he does not have the right of way. So you see what happens right here? Look. You see, everybody's like, what is he doing? He's created his own lane completely. So the white Honda and the other Honda Fit now behind him, right, start to line up behind me because this is a 1-lane roundabout. It's not really a roundabout, but you know what I mean. It takes you around. It's not like a full roundabout, but it takes you onto the next section. Exactly, Irvelin. That's what I thought he was going to do. I thought he was going down Shamrock. I didn't realize he was going to be trying to cut across everybody else. So he is completely in the wrong, and everybody else is lined up because they know it. Why is he all the way over to the side? Look. He's not even, look. He's actually over in the yellow line, like the shoulder. Who on Facebook was defending this? Lug Dionysus Antoinette claimed that she works at Foster's. Girl, I hope you don't drive. I hope you're catching the bus to get to Foster's, because if you cannot see everybody else lined up single file but this one dude, and then look at how reckless he pulls out of the intersection. Look at this.
What kind of driving?
This was the next camera. Look at that. Look what he did.
211.
So you see what a close call that actually was? So he pulls out on the side of me. Here I am waiting. I'm like, what the hell is he doing? Because I'm still thinking, I saw him, and I was still thinking to myself, okay, he's going to stay there. He was just trying to cross over quick time, but he's going to remain there until I go, and then he's going to come over. He still would have been trying to jump ahead of 2 cars, but nonetheless, I thought he was going to stay there. That's not what he does. Look. And this is like a split second between that and the vehicle that was coming down at him. And I'm just like, wow. And the thing about it, he has no way of knowing if I might have been going over to that far lane or not. And that would have been slam. Now my car, I'm on the other side. But that would have been slammed right into my passenger side. And this is how accidents happen in Cayman. So it's not this Honda Fit that's directly behind me. It is the Honda Fit over to the left of everyone that was causing a problem. So yeah, I don't know where these people get driver's license from. And Jermaine, who? Amelin or whatever. I honestly do not know. So I don't engage the same time as this vehicle. This vehicle came after me. Why would this vehicle believe that it had the right of way? But see, y'all must be not used to a rear view camera. That's the only thing that I can figure. Oh, I've got somebody calling. I wonder if people are starting to call into the show early. Good morning. Are you trying to come on air? Okay. It sounds like she ran out of credit real fast. Anyway, bad drivers. The police needs to ticket this person. They have the license plate number. They have the evidence there of the bad driving. So, you know, it is what it is. I think people are starting to call me because they think the show's on air, like on the radio, but it's not. Somebody just messaged and said they'd be buying their license. So we're trying to get a proper phone number sorted out for the new show. So I'm organizing everything, folks. And so soon come. Yeah, Chantal, the police are doing their best, I think, because there really are legit so many bad drivers out there that the police are doing what they can do. But when the general public doesn't understand themselves that this type of behavior is wrong, and you guys are arguing on social media about, oh, how can this person be jackass of the day because they were in the right? How can they possibly be in the right? I don't know in what universe that's possible. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, it's crazy. Anyway, it is what it is. And you've got to be looking out for yourself and then all the other drivers on the road, because you need to have eyes and ears everywhere. And I think that, you know, despite being decent drivers, I mean, I don't consider myself a great driver, but I think I'm a decent driver. I kind of feel like these types of things can happen because other people are just being very, very reckless and are not paying attention. And so you just never know, right? You got to be looking out for everybody, looking at all angles. And the second you get distracted, Lord, heaven forbid, that's it. It's going to go out the window. Invest in a good dash cam. Let me tell you, for sure, this is a good investment. Because people will claim all sorts of stuff when accidents happen. Oh, no, I was doing this, I was doing that. Get yourself a 4. You need to have a 4 dash cam next. It reminds me of when I had the accident last year. The guy was actually pulling out of the Burger King and Walker's Road. And instead of him going all the way over on the right side of the road, he comes right out on the wrong side of the road. And it was like, what are you doing? Like, you're not supposed to be there. That's an illegal move. So although technically I ran into him coming out of the side road, had he been on the right side of the road, that would have been my accident, but he was on the wrong side of the road. So the police were like, yeah, you're completely wrong. There's no, I mean, he admitted it. And you know, he was like, yeah, okay, I'm wrong. And the police were like, yeah. A word of advice, when you get in an accident, make sure you call the police, because people be like, oh yeah, I'm going to take full responsibility. I'm going to pay for it. And then next thing you know, they ain't paying for jack. Jamelia says, as I said, they see nothing wrong because they would do the same thing. Yep. Because they don't know the road rules. And I'm surprised that Jermaine, who says he's the owner of Revolution's Indoor Cycling, was actually defending this behavior as well. He says, you engage yourself on the road in the same time than the Honda. Definitely not coming from behind you. You catching on. Well, you catching up to that car. So you seem to be the one overtaking. Anyway, more important news to focus on right now. Like, what are you talking about? I was there waiting at the intersection. So how can it be that I'm catching up? I'm stopped at the gas station waiting for traffic so I can cross over. Way after I've done that, this Honda comes from behind. So how do you say, I mean, Jermaine, stick to bicycles? Because how can you then say that the Honda is definitely not coming from behind you? What are you talking about? Is there any question, folks, that this vehicle is behind me? That's my rear view. If it wasn't my rear view camera, it wouldn't be caught. It wouldn't be behind me. So it's like, huh? I don't even understand it. Oh, my God. Anyway, not paying attention. And yes, some people are like, oh, this isn't news, folks. Every single day, without fail, we post accidents. And here's an example of precisely why accidents happen, right? And you guys are like, oh, well, this isn't newsworthy. This is newsworthy because when this person collides and seriously hurts somebody or kills somebody, or why our insurance costs keep going up, all of that contributes to those things. Poor drivers contribute to everything from accidents, vehicular damage, deaths on the roads, all of this. Breaking the rules without any consideration for other drivers is newsworthy. And I don't care what y'all have to say otherwise. Because it becomes roadworthy, or newsworthy, my apologies, when it's an accident. Emma is asking, she says, anyone notice Amjad seems to have disappeared? Did you block him, Sandy? You know what? He's never really been into this show that much because I have rules. And I don't let a lot of foolishness on this program go on when it comes to disrespecting people. So I think the last time he was on here, he was, ogling over some woman or something and making these very sexist remarks. And we don't allow that nonsense on this program. He can go over to Radio Cayman and perhaps do that because they allow a lot of foolishness over there. They allow anti-vaxxers and all that kind of stuff. So I think people are drawn to different platforms because of different things. And if you don't like the cold hard truth, and with rules, like you can't be coming on here with certain kind of behavior, then it is what it is. Jared looking sharp this morning. Good morning, Senor Jared. I can't hear you.
Good morning, Miss Sandy. How are you doing
there
today?
You go. Yeah, boy.
Yeah,
are you one of those people that puts on a nice shirt and jacket and then underneath you're wearing shorts and boxers?
No, I actually have this weird obsession where, like, if I'm working at home, I wear the full suit.
You dress the part.
Yeah. Because it feels a bit weird. It feels a bit weird just wearing shorts. I don't know.
Well, it puts you in the right frame of mind when you have to work from home, to be honest.
Exactly.
So we're not really getting too much into the auditor's report, but I'm sure you read the article with interest.
If tea could spill, it would be bubbling.
Yeah, well, we're going to be spilling that tea tomorrow.
Yeah.
What do you make of bad drivers on our roadway?
Well, I was going to big up the RCIPS, because since being on island, I've noticed a stronger police presence. I would say.
Yeah, I think they brought the traffic division back.
Yes, right. But I have noticed a hint. Well, a hint would be an understatement. Just, it's quite bad. The bad driving, the lack of signaling, the lack of, people respecting the road, people speeding. That sort of thing, but yeah,
total disregard for the rules, to be honest. Do you have a dash cam in your car, young man?
I do not know because I won't say this publicly. It's not everything you need to record. That's how some people get in trouble. So I won't say that I don't obey the rules. I do obey the rules, but
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
no.
Jared,
I
what
just
you
find
been
it
doing that you don't want recorded?
no. I find it bougie when people have like dash cams because they can be a bit pricey, to be quite honest. But I
Pricey?
might. Yeah, they're expensive. They're expensive.
There's
Like
no you can't put a price tag on your own safety.
that's
Listen,
true.
I have one that works even when I'm not in the car. So y'all to be walking up in my car. Because if you trying to tap my car driving bad in a parking lot, it's gonna record you.
You know the thing with Sally. You know this the Caribbean, so not everybody is always behaving themselves. I'd say that thing.
You know what is funny about that though, Jared, is my dash cam has an interior camera as well, so it does catch everything that I be saying. But I make sure that nobody has access to that but me.
Yeah. What model is your dash cam, or what's the what type of dash, or is it
I'll have
just
to send you some information. I feel like I did a lot of research on it before purchasing this one because I had another one before.
Okay.
And then I had the crazy lady's husband throw rocks at my vehicle, and my previous dash cam didn't catch that, and so I've really invested in a much better one. But I'll have to send you. I can't remember. It's a brand that I've never really heard of before.
Mm-hmm.
But I must say the quality is really good because 2 of the cameras I think are operating at 4K, and then one is like HD or something. So
I would want one just for like. Yeah, I'd want it just because you brought it up. Safety is priority, so I might.
yeah,
get one.
absolutely. And y'all need to have car alarm systems. Not so much for people stealing cars, although people still steal cars. You saw the motorbike over the weekend that was stolen. So I feel like people still will steal a car. But this
100%.
is more about, again, like safety. If someone walks up to your car, you need one of those that say back up. It's like from that show, Knight Rider. You are too close to the car right now. Back up. Irvin says Sandy is very tech savvy. Well, I try to be. As informed as possible when it comes to technology. And yes, I do enjoy having the latest and the greatest gadgets. Although not as much as I used to. I must tell you that I used to, like the second an iPhone dropped, I was the first one in line in Miami getting the iPhone. And I don't really do that anymore. I can go a couple models without having to upgrade,
Yeah,
but technology is our friend, folks. Sean, good morning. Says there are Caymanians who can't get work, kids who have no food, people who have no place to live, and the schools are poor as piss. Inflation is killing everyone, and that is what they have going on. This current government now has no choice but to hold the persons responsible, criminally liable. Simple. Put them in court. If they don't, then it shows that they're complicit in the criminal behavior. It proves the point relative to the lodge here in Cayman and the criminality that is associated, and then it cuts off. So let me say this, Sean, point taken, but the elected officials do not get involved in prosecuting anyone. And you could understand why that would be a conflict of interest. Now, I say that with a bit of a caveat because my case, the nation building case, I think that was number 10 out of 12 or something, because that was 2016, 2015. That particular case was brought by the complainant was an elected member. So I never actually knew that, believe it or not. And when it got to court and my lawyer started cross-examining how this even came to criminal court, we understood through Winston Connolly, who took the stand, that apparently he was instructed by Tara Rivers to pursue me to the umpteenth degree. And they, listen, powers that be have since told me that apparently Winston was bragging to the political arm, oh, we finally got her. I was like, wow. So it is unbelievable that the political arm would ever get involved in a criminal complaint. Now, if the police are investigating something and they have the ability to assist the police, it is obviously their responsibility to do so. But they should not be the ones who are prosecuting anyone. That's not their job. That's what the police do, and that's what the DPP, the Office of Public Prosecution, that's what they do. The Auditor General now, and again, Sean, we're going to get into this tomorrow, but the Auditor General has released, or they're releasing this report. I understand the report was leaked to CNS, but it looks like this is the final form of the report. It's a November 2021 dated report. So what I would say is it has been signed and dated, so it looks like it's the final thing to me. Maybe the Auditor General, as a government oversight agency, has a responsibility to hand this report and their findings to the Office of Public Prosecutions. So not the elected. Don't be putting it on this government, like saying, "Oh, Wayne Panton is the one who needs to, make sure Alden goes to jail." That's not his job. And you'd never want the political arm of your government having that type of power, because you can see how that would be abused, right? What you need now is the Auditor General. If they believe that any laws have been broken, they need to hand their report over to the DPP's office for a criminal investigation. And we can certainly ask them if that's ever done, if they ever do that. Because all these reports are fine and dandy, but if there's never any accountability, does it really matter in the end? Good morning, Miss Sue. But like I said, we're going to delve into the report a little bit more tomorrow, if possible. Yes? Only because I actually want Wendy Ledger to come on the show. And she wasn't available to come on tomorrow, but she has indicated that today, my apologies, she wasn't available today, but she has indicated that possibly tomorrow she would be available to come on to kind of explain, she's not going to tell us about her sources or anything like that. We wouldn't even ask that sort of question, but she has a little bit of an insight into what's happening here, because maybe she's got some background sus. She was probably chasing the story, and that's why somebody gave her the report.
I have one thing to say about it, and I know you said you didn't want to talk about it, but I don't think locals are aware, separate and apart from this issue, just the damaging connotations that people have about Cayman in terms of how they view Cayman, in that, it's a high-risk money laundering place. I'm not saying that out of spite or saying that in a naive way. There is a genuine miscommunication on how people view Cayman. Not to substantiate Sir Alden's reason, but publicly we're viewed in a certain light, which isn't really good. That's what I would say, and I've seen that from personal experience, interactions that I've had with people overseas. And when I tell them, "Oh, I'm from Cayman," they say, "Oh, that's where they hide people money," or "That's where they," and I have to always tell them, "No, we're good at doing business. If you want to come and invest with us, then come." But genuinely, Miss Sandy, there is that air or that energy in the air where it's like people view Cayman in a certain negative light. And I don't want to substantiate what happened in this report, because I'll have to read it, but Cayman going forward to a degree is going to have to start dispelling, because we've seen this over the years where we've had ministers of financial services always complain, to say that this is a consistent issue. Tara, the Honorable Minister Tara Rivers had that issue. I'm sure the then minister, which is the now Premier Wayne Panton, had that issue, and I'm sure Minister Ebanks will have this issue. So I only say that to say that my comments and opinions are separate from the report. It's just from my experience.
Well, Jared, sorry, I had to grab an apple.
No.
That perception, sometimes the hunger during the morning show really starts to kick in. And I'm like, oh God, I feel like I haven't eaten in years. So I'm going to have an apple for breakfast, folks. Yeah, you know what, Jared, is very, very interesting. That perception is not necessarily the current reality, but we have to accept that we've gotten that perception because of some historical things that have happened. So,
Yeah.
now we say, oh God, it's so hard to open a bank account and to get anything done in the Cayman Islands. It is much easier in many other jurisdictions, including the US, to do these types of transactions. But our reputation precedes us, as the case may be. Anne makes a very valid point. She says the firm did us no favors, and we allowed them to come here
I need to
and
watch that
portray
movie
us in that way. Absolutely.
because I've only heard about it but never really saw it or whatever, seen it.
Yeah. And not only that, folks, but even current day portrayals of the Cayman Islands in movies and in TV series continue to
Yeah.
perpetrate this image. So every single time they talk about money laundering, they're
Cayman.
not talking about Delaware, setting up all these fake companies
Hmm.
that have no, that don't exist. They're name dropping the Cayman Islands and other places in the region. And I've always said that part of the communications team here in the Cayman Islands needs to address this bad perception.
Yeah.
And the fact that all these producers and directors of shows and movies continually want to provide fake information about what it is that we do, because it does impact our reputation.
Yeah, because isn't it a defamation of character? I don't know if well, we could sue them because I'm sure we are mentioned more than 5 times. I'm sure we're mentioned at least over 10 times. Like all the shows that I watch, they say, oh, offshore account in the Caymans or the Cayman Islands. We need to start prosecuting these companies and businesses, whether in Hollywood or anywhere, where they say defamatory statements and they think they can get away with it.
Howard is saying, is it really defamatory? Because it's happening. And
No,
he points
it
to Butterfield in the recent case. And Howard, I must say, I cannot argue with you because there are numerous examples of failings. Now, how widespread is it? I don't know. But Howard, I have to agree with Howard from a factual perspective that there are numerous instances of this sort of stuff happen, and we report in it all the time on CMR. Sometimes it's people that we bring in here, like the Canadian penny, what was he, the penny stocks guy? The feds wanted him so badly that they allowed him to get on a plane, supposedly to go to Canada, and they got the plane to land on U.S. soil so that they could grab him.
Okay.
But you see, when they report the story, oh, he's a Cayman resident, right? Because he was living here. Because we allow him to come here with all their shenanigans. Okay, living in $1 million house down in Crystal Harbor, right? Yeah, this is part of the problem, Howard. Yeah, I can't fault you.
So there has to be. We have to differentiate in that we have to be a bit specific. When you have banks and organizations who adhere to protocols such as certain checks and balances, and then you have people who willfully and intentionally operate in a manner which is contrary. That is different. And to be honest, media is media. They only purport clickbait or things that will really sell. So
how is it any different? So you're saying if the little man on the street not doing it, then it doesn't count as money laundering? But it's normally
no, but what I'm saying is that when the little man goes to the bank and says, "Yo, I want to open a bank account," right? And you got pretty much break an arm and a leg to get that bank account, more or less. It is not the same as someone, I would say, in my opinion, who operates in that industry but does not abide by the rules, because all the people that have been caught or prosecuted have been people who are what you'd call operators, managers, people who know the rules, not necessarily the institution themselves. So there needs to be what I would say some stringent ethical practices on the practitioners. How can there be a difference
when they say, here's a case with Butterfield, y'all remember this was just last year, I think, August of 2021. It says in certain instances, bank personnel ignored obvious red flags of wrongful intent on the part of the prospective or actual U.S. clients from which bank personnel knew or should have known that the U.S. clients were using their Butterfield accounts to maintain undeclared assets or otherwise engage in tax evasion. Jared, you can't slice this no other way.
No, I get it. I get it.
Personnel, that could be your cousin, that could be my cousin, that could be anybody. But it makes everyone look bad. These are the systems in place.
Yeah. And that's the sad part.
To forfeit $4.8 million and turn over client records as part of a non-prosecution agreement.
Yeah, and this is the problem. This is the problem that okay.
It admitted
so
to fraudulently helping U.S. taxpayers evade taxes through its Bermuda and Cayman Islands operations. So of course our name all over this, making us look bad.
Yeah,
you know, I think that in addition to the fines that they have to pay, you know, in the U.S., because the U.S. always gets their money. You notice the U.S. always gets paid, whereas we here in Cayman, SEMA and other regulatory agencies be like, oh, we come in after the fact, after the money all gone. It's like, how did this happen? We don't get to fine anybody because by then they paid all the fines to some other agency.
Yeah.
So we're not even getting on the back end of the compliance. We're not even getting the benefit of it, but yet we're getting all the reputational damage, which is quite shocking when you think about it. I don't know, boy. There's a lot of examples of this that we can point to. We've reported on a few of them. I can look up cryptocurrency. You know how many crypto agencies and whatever we have allowed to come and set up here with their shenanigans? Just go to the website and type in crypto, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, crypto. Let's see. Cayman Company charged in SEC's first case involving DeFi technology. That was also August of 2021. So another one that we allowed to come here. Selling us the whole kit and caboodle full of lies. And Gregory, what's his name? Keogh or whatever, and Derek Acri have to pay back investors $12.8 million. Securities issues. So they claim that they came up with this fancy decentralized finance technology. And it's all a bunch of smoke screens and mirrors trying to defraud people. $30 million fraud charge against the Florida duo and their Cayman Islands company. See, we allow this blockchain credit partners. Whoa. You know how many fraudsters we've had coming through the SEC? The Special Economic Zone, SEZ, sorry. Yeah, not doing any due diligence on them. They provided a little bit of paperwork, and we accept the paperwork on the face of it, not checking any further. I know for a fact. There's one guy, Joe Zahn, he came here and was a director in a company. Come to find out, he had a previous SEC case that said he should never serve as a director on a company again. But guess who allowed him in to serve as a director of a company? It wasn't the Cayman Islands people. SEMA approving him. This one and that approving him. Like, really? Jerry. I mean, I understand there are some reputational things, but I also know that we need to do
Facts
better.
in the pudding, man. That one you can't.
Hello.
Can't run for that one.
Hello. You understand? Every time let's just look up the word fraud and see what else comes up. Every time I have to cover one of these fraud stories, I'm just like, oh my God. Again?
These people get in like they're never in
There's
there.
another one, December. Manager of Cayman Domicile Fund jail for fraud. New Zealand economist Kelly Tonkin ripped off at least 100 people by falsifying the net value of his Cayman registered fund and forging an audit statement from BDO to cover his tracks. He got 8.5 years by a court in Australia, in New Zealand, sorry, on December 21st. We're making it a little bit too easy
Yeah,
for these people to
but
set up these fake companies, and the reputational damage
it
that
is
comes from it is not good.
setting up a company is hard. Well, from my youthful experience, but there seems to be a way people can bypass the protocols, which is a
And
bit
let's be honest,
frightening.
there are people in the legal fraternity, accountants and otherwise, who this is what they're doing. They're encouraging this sort of behavior. And it's unfortunate. Howard says, wow, he never even heard about most of these cases. You see what I'm telling you? So when we start to see, Cayman is going to be an EU's preliminary AML high risk list.
Again,
Yep.
yesterday, day before
You know,
yesterday.
we got to clean things up a little bit. So I'm not entirely surprised. What kind of fraudster called me from +2250? Now we know they're not trying to get on the show. So there's a lot here I feel like that needs to be looked at. We want to talk about compliance and all of these things. You know, we need to shape it up a little bit. By the way, coming across, this is the business section of the website, Straight Talk holding on by a thread with Weekly Show. Catherine Tyson is no longer with Star 92.7. You're hearing it here first. As of 2022, she is no longer with the talk show, with the radio station at all. And her show went from 4 days a week down to 1 day a week. And I'm going to show you guys something here in a second. Give me one quick second since we're scrolling down the business section. She even changed her show name, which I thought was interesting. She had a separate page called Straight Talk with Catherine, and she's now changed it to Weekly Catch Up with Catherine Tyson. So I don't know if she's still going to be live streaming or what she's going to be doing exactly. But she did, I guess, a weekly catch up on January 8th, but hasn't there been a couple weeks since then? Maybe it's not weekly, maybe it's monthly, but she hasn't done anything since then. But she did a 2-minute catch up. But she actually changed the name. This page was previously called Straight Talk, and now it's called Weekly Catch Up. So she's no longer over at Star 92.7. So I don't know. I hear they're looking for host, Jared, in case you might want a little part-time job.
I'd probably be good at it, but you know me, I just like to stay in my little corner.
Miss Sue says, how many millions go through Cayman every year? False titles, buy properties for billion. Yes. Let's not even talk about the fake titles, car for titles thing that was running through the SEZC, Special Economic Zone. That's like a radar for fraudsters. I got to be honest with you. A lot of very fraudulent individuals have set up shop over there in the Special Economic Zone. And one of the reasons is because the regular laws that apply to everybody else over in the economic zone, Cayman, Enterprise City, don't apply to them. So they get a pass on even work permits. Like they don't have to go through the work permit regime of advertising for Caymanians. They get to bypass all of that. And if you think people are not taking advantage of that setup over there to defraud, then y'all need to look carefully. Look here again. SEC charges another Cayman ICO issuer. Crown Machine SEZC. Another one in court again being charged. So, yeah. You have to understand that there is a lot of it that's going on, unfortunately. Yep. U.S. sues Cayman firm over disabling car emissions controls. That was another special economic zone company. Lord have mercy. Marshall says Cayman needs to do a proper background check on all investors coming to Cayman. Well, sometimes you can only dig as far as what you can see. And a lot of these people are fraudsters that just haven't been caught yet. But there have been instances when we have allowed fraudsters to come here knowing that they have a record. I think the penny stock guy was one of those. Why would we allow this guy to ever come to the Cayman Islands and set up stock? This was one that they nabbed and moved to Canada. Why, and why? He had done it before. So he had a track record. Right? Remember CMR broke the story in September of 2020? The dude had done it before. He had been fined by the SEC. Listen, once you are on the SEC radar, let me just say this. They should never be able to set up a company in the Cayman Islands. Right? So online searches indicate that McAlpine has some involvement with the securities industry as a senior financial advisor. LOM Securities Cayman Limited. Go check that out. His name came up in a 2016 settlement between the SEC and Caledonian Bank, where it was alleged that the bank was involved in pumping and dumping of stocks. Now, what do you think this case was the second time around? Pumping and dumping again. So the second you see his name involved in this, how is it that we allow him into this jurisdiction to set up anything? This is what I'm always asking myself. The writing is on the wall. Right? See the email correspondence here from him and some client dating back to 2013. In 2001, he was accused of fraud and mismanagement in a civil case over $500,000, opening up this brokerage account. And the allegations were that he was using his expenses, or the money taken in to pay his own expenses, including a trip to New York for client acquisition, and using the American Express card to make it all go away. They paid $50,000 to settle the matter. This is what happens, right? So a lot of times they're paying to make things go away. Well, when our regulators start to sniff around and they see this sort of thing, they should be like, ooh, maybe you're not a fit and proper person for a directorship, so we're going to deny that application. Jared, this is where we need to have some accountability.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody has to get blamed, like the government authority. Unfortunately, I know they've been doing some snooping and they found some people, but we need more consistent snooping going, happening. Because I know, because what it's all triggered by is money. Unfortunately, that's what run Cayman. You know, we can't say government doesn't benefit off of the duties and fees that every time somebody opens up a company, they get. So the unfortunate thing is that this is a double-edged sword situation. However, you know, we can mitigate that. Maybe someone, well, let's see, I'm probably scared now, but maybe somebody in compliance or head of compliance could actually speak to what they're actually supposed to do. Because if you supposed to be compliance and we having so much issues with people breaking the law more or less, it's either you're good at your job or you're bad at your job. So compliance is all about prevention. So yes, we're catching people, but how are we preventing people from causing reputational damage, and how do we mitigate that, meaning prevent it after the fact? Because based on what I'm seeing with the cases here is that there's an occurrence. Seema, how are we preventing that occurrence? 2, what are we doing after the occurrence? So if somebody could give clarity to that in a no hard question, that 2-3 sentences, if they could give a media release, you know, from whoever going to report it to them, that'd be great. Because I'm not getting that level of confidence from the compliant authorities, which it is SEMA, and RCIPS Financial Fraud Unit and whoever else registry as well. But yeah, it just seems a bit nothing new, same tune. So we won't expect anything different.
Well, I think that really what needs to happen here is people need to get ahead of things instead of being reactionary. Ms. Sue makes a good point.
That's why I say, like, it's hard for a local person to open a bank account.
Yeah.
I want to know what is it these people have where they can bypass it, because that's where my level of frustration is with. Cause, like I said, the amount of things you got to provide, Miss Sandy, utility, you got to provide, so you got a job, you got jump to the moon and back pretty much to get a bank account as a local in Cayman. Why is it that when somebody has a couple $1,000, it don't seem like they got jump through the regulatory hoops? That's what I'd question as well, because it is a bit frustrating at the end of the day.
I mean, Sue makes a good point that the rich and famous, I guess, or the rich and access to credit and money and whatever, they are the ones who appear to have the ability to do certain things, to get these bank accounts that everybody else would have such a difficult time even getting. So point taken there, for sure. What a hot mess. Marshall says, it's hard to open a bank account in Cayman. I opened a bank account here in Wells Fargo with just 2 pieces of ID. What can you say? Jared, you look like you're speechless.
It's humorous, because to start to open a bank account in Canada, yes, I'll pick on Canada, you just need a government documentation, a passport, and a government issue ID. More or less 3 documents, right? In Cayman, Miss Sandy, you gotta provide at least 5 to 7 documents. And we're not saying there is a chance if you get approved, not guarantee. If I go to Canada right now and I say I want to open up another personal account, it's easier. But to be honest, it is a bit hard up there too, doing a business account up there. So, but we're talking about Cayman. I don't know. Something to look right, something don't smell right. It's not making sense.
That's one way of putting it. All right, Jared, I'm going to pull you up for a second. Folks, did you guys see this situation in Jamaica with the car accident? I don't know if y'all saw this or not, but this was next level crazy. Not the car accident, but it was a police chase where this guy was being chased by the authorities, and Lord have mercy, he was not stopping. Let me see if I can pull up the video here, because this is crazy. I looked at this and I thought, wow, how would this happen? The dude was on the run with passengers, and I think he's a taxi. I just got a link here. Hold on one second. I'm going to tell y'all what the source is. But as far as I know, he is actually a taxi driver that the police were chasing, and there was a baby in the car. He went rogue. Oh my God. Somebody sent it to me and said, only in Jamaica. Illegal taxi and high-speed chase in St. Andrew. So, hold on now. I mean, help me out, Jamaican brothers and sisters. When you get a taxi, do you know if this is an illegal taxi? Are you paying less because it's an illegal taxi and you kind of take your chances? I mean, I don't know how this works exactly. But I'm going to show you all the video, and then you can tell me certainly what you think. I think Renee is going to be putting up this story here on the website shortly, so you'll be able to read all the details of this. But it is a really crazy situation. All right, here we go. Hold on a second. I'm going to show you guys this video. Ooh, I'd be scared to death. Y'all ready for this one? You ready, Jared? Check this out.
Yo, and the places we are driving, so you know, brother. Oh, man, yo, just let me have the man. Jesus, just let me out, no, man. Can't get to find him. Bad man, you have people like me that can't be for you. Hey, the man lit down the back. Brother, the man lit down all the bike, man, the man is silver, my brother. You know how much care, man, me crush them. Lucky na you. People like me that care. How much are we? All the police are shoot off by different people in a bomb buckle that care. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Baba don't say, yeah. Baba don't say, yeah. Baba don't.
Wow. Jared, what the bumbuck say what?
Mix up a blender, Miss Sunday.
What a one?
I don't even know what to say about that. It's a very traumatic experience because there was a little child in that.
Oh my God! Can you
video.
imagine?
And I will say that I do know my Jamaican counterparts. In that those were probably warning shots. I don't think the intent was to hurt anyone. The Jamaica constabulary.
Wait. You're talking about the same Jamaican police force that will shoot a pregnant woman if she's backshot?
Okay, now like every force, there is bad apples. Now, not to say that that attitude that was exhibited with that situation isn't something that's troubling. I'm sure it would have been investigated. But the thing is, what I do know with certain parishes in Jamaica, you have a broad spectrum of attitude in terms of how the police engages the public. So if you are on the north coast, which is more tourist areas, you'll have the police is a little bit more understanding. In more of the, what I would say, in my opinion, the inner cities, so like Kingston and Mobay are hotspot areas where there's a relatively high level of crime, the police tends to be a little bit more stricter. Now, in terms of their approach, we have to bear in mind when the police is on the front lines, there's things that they have to watch for, because the criminal elements in Jamaica, Miss Sandy, they don't operate the way how criminals. Well, criminals are criminals. It's the way in which they operate which has the police on edge. Because as you could see in the video here, the police officer was directing someone to go down, because everyone's anxiety, it's when everybody's anxiety is up, which includes the police officer's anxiety, that things unfortunately can get miscommunicated and happen. And so no, I'm not discounting that situation. That is actually a bad situation. And yes, the police tends to be a bit excessive, and I would say the RCIPS was a bit excessive when they were accosting someone, I think last week, and throwing them on the ground. I don't know if you saw that. But yeah, the police, because of the high level security nature role that the police has, they tend to be a bit on edge. And because we're natural human beings, sometimes we don't control our emotions. And that's just me simplifying it, but it never really is that simple at the end of the day. But that was, I don't know why this guy didn't stop. I don't know if it's that his paper, there could be a number of different things.
Well, I guess he's a
Papers,
legal driver, but he did say at one point that he was not going to allow the police to hold him or take away his boss car. So I don't know if his boss is like a gangster boss or like a boss or what kind of boss he's talking about.
criminal elements.
Yes, my dear child, the poor little schoolgirl.
Traumatized, man.
Yeah, this is horrible. This is like next level crazy.
It's like it unfortunately seemed like a movie. Like you would think
I don't know if you saw it, but at one point he actually crashed into a motorcyclist but did not stop.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what this reminded me of? There is a it wasn't quite as bad as this, but there's a section of Jamaica called Junction. You ever been on Junction Road?
Yes.
Yo, them people drive like mad. Like I'm just like, how do people drive on Junction Road and not kill more people?
And the thing is,
like a one lane going up across into St. Mary and back, and it's like coming around a sharp bend. You're gonna drop off the cliff. You got a big truck coming, and you're just honking to let people know you're coming around the bend. There's not even a line of sight.
Yeah, and it's
crazy.
It's an aggressive driving attitude that Jamaica has, where everyone feels like they can be the boss or police shouldn't talk to them. That is the unfortunate attitude that Jamaica has. We should be very careful in Cayman, because I see with people breaking road code and all of them
the same behavior,
foolishness attitude, which does not exhibit who we are in Cayman, and it won't be tolerated. I know that for a fact. So
according to that bad driver yesterday, that is who we are now.
And we need to start prosecuting people who think they won't get prosecuted, in terms of really cutting people off and doing just some erratic behavior that I'm seeing on the road. So yeah, I'm sure it will all get dealt with.
So Perla says that the officer's talking the truth. Irvlin said he should have gotten a BBC. Arson Marshall says not being funny, but so many people's in that taxi that looks like a minibus. Lock up the taxi driver. Well, he's now locked up. Don't worry about that. But I guess that's why it's an illegal taxi, because I don't know if legal taxis have like a limit and how many people they can transport. Probably. Deep Blue Sea says, looks like he is husband material for some of the fools around here. Oh God, Deep Blue Sea. No, sir. That is, I mean, I'm gonna give it to Deep Blue Sea. They're probably emailing him right now, texting and WhatsApping him saying, come me looking husband in the Cayman Islands. Yes, because we got a lot of slackness going around here with all these fake marriages. Evelyn says, yes, Sandy, right there. John says, let's see how much time they give him in prison. Maybe a couple months. Evelyn says the police hit their tire. John says that poor mother. Oh my gosh. It was traumatic to watch it. Like when I first watched it, I had to watch it again because I was like, what did I just see? What was that? Oh my God, it's crazy. Everald says, Sandy, you're the best. What a hot mess, Jill. I'm only here telling the truth. Marshall says it's an episode out of the Fast and the Furious, Jamaica style. Yep. Now, what I found interesting is how calm the police were, despite this high-speed chase. Let's look at this. One day finally pull over. One was walking right there with his gun and stuff, right? They just seem so calm, cool, and collected. Keep walking. And then let them walking over their stuff. And then they're more over here. Yeah, they're like, some other day. Yeah. They're like, everybody keep calm. Look at that one over there. He's like, what's going on here? Look at this bag.
Much are we nearly kill off, man?
Look at that poor woman getting out on the ground. She's still, oh my God. You see that just right there? Poor thing. She's coming up the ground and she's like practically collapsed on the ground. Look at her.
Much are we nearly kill off, man?
She's like, oh my God. They're trying to get the work.
I want to know how all them people hold up in that car, because I know taxis in general, they do overpack. Look, to be honest,
Marshall said there's a lot of people. I don't know how many, but there's a lot.
Yeah, and the thing is,
officer right there, his hand on his weapon, and him just cool and collected, man.
It probably is something that they use because there is a lot of action, I would say, that goes on in Jamaica.
And look, he's the barefoot taxi driver. Anybody else notice the man not wearing no shoes? Why is he not wearing shoes? Like he rolled out of bed and decided to go drive a legal taxi?
Okay, first of all, I don't think this guy was actually a valid taxi driver. Yeah, because they have a shirt. Taxi drivers in Jamaica have this light blue shirt. I'd have to see the side of the car to see if it has the parish area street.
No, they said he's illegal, so we know that already.
And look like that. He don't look like he dressed for work.
Ready, how much things the man going back?
And then to get back up at least 3 weekends.
Dead, we nearly dead in the man.
This young one getting a little bit animated, but the rest of them cool.
Dead, we nearly dead in the bad man, you have people like me, I can't be for you.
What does he say? He said, dead, we nearly dead. What does he say after that? Translate.
Bad man, you have people like me, I can't be for you.
Meaning you have a lot of people in the car and you're behaving like that. Meaning you have a lot of people, you're driving a lot of people and you're behaving in a very erratic behavior.
Yes, translator. Thank you, Jared.
I'm dead, we nearly dead, you know. Bad man, you have people like me, I can't be for you. Hey, the man lit down the back. Brother, man lit down all that bike, man, the man in silver, my brother. You know how much care, man, me crash them. Lucky, you know, you.
You could have killed everybody in the car.
Keep me life in that car. How much are we? All the police are shoot off by different people in that bomb buckle at car.
He said all the people that in the bomba clata. And I noticed that the detective or officer there has his mask down. He's not worried about no COVID right now.
Listen.
Oh, he was just warning somebody just now, Jared.
Yeah, so he was saying like pretty much what are you saying? Go down that side of the road. I think that he was probably saying something either cheeky, which Jamaican police officers
don't mess with Jamaican police.
That's one thing on Sunday. The Jamaican police, you know, when there's a shootout, Jamaican police will never back down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in terms of preventing.
No, because it's life. It's their life. But I mean, look at the man. The reckless driving in the cliff, and oh my God, no.
Yeah, it's a cliff because you can see it on the right side. If you look, that's
Now I said kind of look like Junction still.
Mm-hmm. And you know which road kind of bad still? You know that road that people used to have to go down to Kingston before they had the highway. What's it called, that road?
You sure that's not Junction?
Mount Russell. It kind of that.
I don't
Listen,
know,
Miss Sandy, that hill. It's kind of like this one.
They have some. Yeah, they don't have the best roads in the world, and some of the worst drivers in the world compounds the situation.
Yeah.
But anyway, folks, that was what was popping off in Jamaica yesterday. The man is in police custody. I think it actually happened the day before, and he remains in police custody. So he's going to be facing a few charges. Well, Stacey Ann says that policeman needs to go to jail for life. Lock him up. Irvin is so far them run him down, go backside. Mm-hmm. He's cursing the baby, but the officer thought he was talking to him. Oh, he's cursing the boy. Why did he be cursing the boy? Oh, what I mixed up. Anyway, it's crazy. Miss Panook says that she's having an issue opening a bank account because, but she has some disabilities, so it shouldn't be that difficult. Speaking of bank accounts, let me give CNB some props this morning. So finally, over the weekend, I think it was last week or so, we got an email to say that the business clients finally got access to like the new app, right? So the new login, the new app, and you could log in and whatever. So I was trying to log in. I was having a little bit of difficulties. So I actually had to call them on Saturday to gain access, and they were very, very good. Saturday afternoon, walking me through. So I had to set up a couple different access points. And boy, this is going to make my life so much easier. Because, you know, I'm one of those people that I go to the grocery store and I'm like, oh, what is in this account again? Because I keep a specific account that's linked to my debit card for shopping purposes. So I don't tend to keep a lot of money in it in case somebody steals my money or they try to, you know, put through a fraudulent transaction. They're not going to necessarily get a whole lot of money from me. And lo and behold, now I got the phone app. Oh my gosh, this is like the best thing after sliced bread, I believe. I'm so tickled pink. Thank you, CNB, for getting with the times. This is so nice. So I went to yesterday. I had to buy like PP and what else did I get there? I always go there for the same stuff. I do like toilet paper, Listerine, like those sorts of toiletries, right? And so there I am. And I'm like, I used my card earlier today and I can't remember how much money. Give me one second. I logged in. It took me all of like 5 seconds. Logged in, checked my account. Sure enough, I needed to get some money over to the next. Keeps me very mindful of my CNB. Thank you. I love the new app. Oh, Perla, okay. And then he said, now you me at this officer. Yes, it was kind of hard to follow all the conversations in the video. But anyway, big shout out to CNB. Congratulations. Now let's talk about a young lady who is making some positive waves here in the Cayman Islands for being the first Caymanian. She has a conditional acceptance, provided that her final grades come through as they should, which we have no expectations that anything else would happen. But this young lady is going to be headed off to Cambridge Law. So let me just pull up her picture here. This is the second daughter for Ralston Anglin. You guys remember Ralston was former education minister. Sharina Anglin. Congratulations, young lady. You are doing well. So she has a conditional acceptance letter to University of Cambridge, Cavendish College of Law. Wow. As far as we know, she's actually the first Caymanian to be accepted by the institution to study law. So very good. Year 13 student at Cayman Prep and High School. And she has done A pluses. Let me tell you, hold on one second now. Let me see. In terms of her grades, so she has done A pluses, 9 A pluses, or A stars, sorry, is what it's called, for the IGCSEs, and then she has 1 A. And then so far she has 4 A's for the ASs, which is the highest grade that you can get. And that's what I think the finals now is what she'll be sitting in May and June. And pending those final results, she's off to Cambridge. All right. So, Jared, I'm going to just pull you out and mute you for a second. People are saying they're hearing dishes clacking in your background, child. People can hear everything. Thank you for alerting me to that. I did hear a little noise too, and I wasn't quite sure what that was, to be honest. So we'll get that sorted out. So Sharina, congratulations. I'm sure everyone is so proud of you. I've seen the comments on social media, Instagram, Facebook. Congrats and well done. And she's not the only student at that school that's doing well, so we'll highlight a few others as we progress as well. So very good. Cambridge Law. Her dad says that she's wanted to be a lawyer for a very long time. Beautiful. So Marshall sends his congratulations. Good morning to the beautiful Emma. Everyone is doing just fantastic. Thank you so much. Yeah, very well. All right. Let me just check and see what else we've got on the agenda for today. So I mentioned that Pfizer is looking to get approval for younger children, ages 6 months now up to 4. Carla says, I wish Jared was cooking while all those dishes going on. That must be his mama or somebody clicky-clacking in the background. Maybe mama making him some breakfast. Jared, are you getting any breakfast this morning? Is that what that was?
No, that's not what had happened. I hope they don't make no meme out of me. It just basically, my mom just doing her motherly thing, wants to make sure the house is tidy because her son is down. So, yeah, she was just doing her little thing that all Caymanian mothers do and Caribbean mothers do. Always in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. What a mess. Very, very good. Thank you so much. All right. Let me just check and see what else we had on the discussion list for today. We talked about Rhianna having a baby. I think a lot of men in Cayman were actually disappointed about this. When I sent out the link, a lot of men were like, no, she's supposed to be my future wife. I was like, y'all need to stop. Rhianna is not interested in any of y'all. It's kind of interesting who she had her baby with. Apparently her and ASAP Rocky have been going back and forth, I think, for a little minute. Like people don't know exactly when they started dating as celebrities. But I'm just over here in my little corner like, oh, I hope the baby's cute. But she'll be fine, child. Rihanna is a billionaire. All these men tell me, oh, I love me some Rihanna. Rihanna not paying y'all no mind. She is a billionaire, Barbadian singer. And she set up her own, she's a fashion designer. She acts a little bit. So she has a makeup line that apparently is very, very, very popular. So I think her makeup line is called Fendi or something like that. But yes, she is. She's really done well for herself, representing the Caribbean. Fenty Beauty, sorry, not Fendi. Fendi is the other people. So Fenty Beauty by Rihanna is now a $1 billion company, from what I understand. So yes, it is what it is. So she went back to her roots when she named that company, because she was born Robin Fenty in St. Michael, Barbados. So that's where the Fenty Beauty comes from. She has a $1.2 billion fortune. And most of it isn't from her music. Most of it is from her Fenty Beauty brand. Yes, child. So isn't that interesting? Very, very interesting. Yes. She did an interview talking about her Scottish roots. So apparently, she has some sort of Scottish ancestry from her father, Ronald Fenty, who's 67 years old. So his ancestors were endangered servants transported to Barbados to work on a sugar plantation in the 17th century. They were part of the Caribbean's poor white community known as Redlegs. Never heard of them before. But there you go. So apparently she has Scottish and Irish roots, according to her. She needs to get on that genealogy show that's always on PBS. Quite interesting. So yes, billionaire. And her boyfriend, his name is A$AP Rocky, 31 years old. They got a baby. I think he might now be 32. But anyway, they got a baby on the way. So congratulations to them. Kudos. You notice that people who can afford to have a lot of children don't normally tend to have a lot of children. I'm just saying. She is a top earning female musician and is second only to Oprah Winfrey as the world's richest female entertainer. Whoa. I didn't know she was behind Oprah like that. What? Wow. The world's richest female entertainer. Oh. They say that her makeup line actually does really well because it's all about diversity. So it has some 40 shades for the skin tones alone. And most major brands have less than 20. Mm-hmm. She also has a Savage X Fenty collection of lingerie offering sexy styles for every shape. Yes, sir. And when she did the Savage Fenty show on Amazon Prime, they had models of all shapes walking down the runway. That means I could have been walking down the runway, Jared. They were inclusive of somebody with a little bit of extra here and there.
We love to see that. We love to see that. You know, us in the Caribbean, we are multifaceted. It would be an understatement. I am familiar with Fenty Beauty. Rihanna did produce or make a lot of quality music, which has just more or less stand the time. But yeah, it's that she saw the need, she filled the need. She looked at it and basically said that, okay, if them big corporates not really going to accommodate for the billions of diverse people out there of different shades, color, and creed, Fenty going to do it. And so I'm sure those big corporate companies are probably crying, doing research on what diversity looks like, but for them. So I don't feel bad for them. I'll always big up the right, excellent national hero, Rhianna Fenty. And she's doing it flawless, as every Caribbean woman I know does it. And, you know, no woman can really stand up to a Caribbean woman at the end of the day, in my opinion. Could be wrong, but I do I do strongly always promote my Caribbean women. So yeah.
Well, Nona says that she's hoping that Rhianna has strong genes. Lord Jehovah.
What people gonna be like that for?
To be honest, he's not really a bad-looking guy. I mean, I was kind of. I'll be honest, Nona. I too was like, I'm not into ASAP Rocky, and I don't even know what his music is like or whatever. But once I heard that he was having a baby with Rihanna, or she was having a baby with him, I was like, oh, really? Let me go check him out, honey child. See what he look like. Is he cute? And here's what he looks like, folks. For those of you who don't have a clue, just like me, you know who he looks like to me? The one that's with Kylie Jenner. What's his name?
Travis Scott. It's Travis
He
Scott.
kind of looks like Travis Scott.
I always say that.
Don't you think so?
They do.
Yeah. So they have very similar like facial structures and stuff. So listen, he's not a bad looking guy. He's got nice teeth, which, I think that's important. I hate to see these guys walking around with the grills. I'm like, ooh, y'all look so ugly with these grills. Ooh, child, please. But at least he's preserved his teeth. He not got no grill going on. One thing I did see him do that I am not a fan of, and apparently he's a smoker. Now I think Rhianna probably smokes too, because I think she believes in hitting some herb here and there. But apparently he's a smoker, and I'm like, please don't be smoking around the baby. Oh, I hate to see people smoke. So there's Rhianna.
Oh, she looks pretty.
Yeah, she looks
It matches
nice.
her. Like it rocking, man. She gonna make that a style watch. She probably gonna make a baby fashion line. Like that's yeah.
Yeah, this is how they announced that they were pregnant. They just decided, ooh, let's just walk down the streets of New York, in a pink jacket. So everybody thinks she's having a girl. Everybody thinks that's the clue. Pink for girl, which could be
a fashion statement.
Yes,
too.
yeah.
Her makeup is well done as well.
Oh my gosh, she always looks good. And there she is looking good. Got her baby bump rocking. And there he is with her. Let me show you the two of them together. So it's a couple's moment. Now, that baby bump had to be cold though.
What? Up there cold, man.
It's snowing in the background. Oh, but that's how they made their announcement. And I thought this is really cute, actually. This is a cute way of, as a celebrity, you don't have to say a word. You don't have to issue nothing. Just, walk down the street, everybody's snapping a picture of you, and it's like, there you go. We're having a baby. That's it. So, it's possible that it's a girl. That might have been a subtle hint or not so subtle hint. But she looks good. And I mean, he's not bad looking. Yeah, that kid should be all right. Sometimes you never know how these children are going to come out. Trust and believe. Sometimes you can have the cutest parents and the kids come out looking fugly. Not even ugly, fugly. And then you'd be like, ooh, what happened? So there's no guarantee just because you got cute parents that you're going to have cute kids. But, in this day and age where you can get everything done, plastic surgery here, there, and everywhere, they'll fix it. What a hot mess, Jeff.
The Caribbean genes might come true, man. The Caribbean genes might come true.
Yeah. I believe so. I believe that she's, they'll have a really cute little child. I'm sure of it.
I hope it's a boy. Just saying.
Why?
I don't know, because you can do anything that you can do with your daughter, but there's a special place where each child holds, in somebody's heart, regardless if it's a girl or a boy, everybody will be happy at the end of the day if it's either a boy or a girl.
I'm not sure that. I think Jared got caught in a low moment there and he didn't know how to respond to that question. Because that response made no sense, Jared, I must say. Everybody's asking, why can't we see you? I'm actually sitting down for a minute because I told y'all I was feeling very famished all of a sudden. So I did eat my apple and I'm just taking a load off my feet for a second. I think sometimes in the morning, honestly, my blood sugar level has dropped or something because I'm not eating as I should be. The acupuncturist was saying that to me the other day. She's like, you need to eat more meals throughout the day. Smaller meals, but more often. Because normally right now I'm like eating one solid meal a day, I must say. And then I kind of will pick on other stuff. So Natasha says Fenty set the bar that forced all of the other makeup companies to suddenly make, they can make up for all their tones. Yes, I heard she has a lot of tones. I've never like used any of her makeup. I'm not a big makeup person like that anyway, but yeah, I think she really came out with a full palette of like everything makeup. Aliana says, "Man, she cute. Only man she need to what?
Watch now.
Watch now is Drake. That boy can kill himself." Speaking of Drake, there is a meme that is that is kind of going viral with him kind of making up his face. Did y'all see this? It says that he drove to Rihanna's house to cry outside the gate, and Drake was already here. This is what somebody said. This content cannot be loaded. Oh, somebody removed it. So they've been trolling Drake because I mean there's been a little bit of back and forth about her and Drake, like maybe being into each other and whatever. So I don't know if they officially dated, but they've hung out. You know, with celebrities, sometimes you can't tell if it's like a collaborative moment or are they really into each other. But people kind of felt like her and Drake had some sort of chemistry together, and maybe it could have been a thing, but who knows. Elaine's Closet said they both smoke, and that's a vintage Chanel coat she's rocking. Well, thank you, Elaine. Wow. Yeah, I'm not into the smoking thing. I'm really not. I'm not into smoking. But look at the memes, Jared, that they're doing about about what's his name, Drake. These are kind of funny. So Drake reacting to Rihanna and ASAP Rocky's pregnancy is now a meme. So that's one. They've done a whole bunch of them about him. This one we can't see for some reason. This is content not available. But look at this one. Drake this morning when he's seen how Rihanna is trending. Oh my God. And then Drake tweeting from his burner phone. "You won, ASAP Rocky. Enjoy parenthood. I hope it makes you happy. Dear Lord, what a sad life, Rocky. You ruined my life completely. So you could have her child, sorry. And I hope now you can spend paternity leave having lessons in grace and decorum." I think they're making fun. They make fun of Drake a lot because of his Canadian kind of mannerisms and stuff.
Yeah.
So here's another one. Drake, after he sees Rihanna is pregnant. Congratulations. Oh my God, that is so funny. Y'all are just crazy. Let's play it again. Can I play it again? Congratulations. And here's another one. Drake, after waking up and seeing why Rihanna is trending, crying on the phone. Drake seeing them pictures of Rihanna pregnant with ASAP baby. This wasn't God's plan. Breaking news. Oh my gosh, you guys are so funny. Oh my gosh. Zola tweeted, "Drake somewhere crying and throwing up." So they are trolling Drake like nobody's business. Poor him. What a hot mess. I'm sure he's okay though. He's all right. So John says you soon see a bunch of mothers showing their bellies following her crazy fashion. That's a thing though. Baby bump photos are a thing. I mean, that's been around for a minute, so that's really nothing new. I think a lot of people, I'm going to show you guys one of mine. How about that? Y'all hold on now. Let me show you my baby picture. My baby bump. I'll show you one. We had some, can I tell you something? We had some fantastic baby pictures. My husband and I knew this would be the only child that I was going to have. Like at that age, it's just like, yeah, all right, one and done. And that was it. And so I decided that I would spare no expense in a way, you know, with certain things. I wasn't going to be bothered. I wasn't going to be stressed out about, you know, I mean, you have to spend within your budget, obviously. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to spend a little bit more than if I had 5 children because I couldn't afford it if I had 5 children. So here's what I did. One day I got to share the pregnancy story with you guys of how I actually found out. It was quite a very interesting situation. It's a long story, but let me see here now. I'm going to show you guys some of my pictures. So first of all, I'm going to show you the non-glamorous look. So y'all know that I love a green mango, and I didn't have any like pregnancy cravings or anything like that. But you know, I was up in my green mangoes like everybody's business. Taken from people's trees. I always try to ask, but here's a non-glamorous version of me pregnant and going mango hunting at the same time. Trust me, y'all know I love. Hey, if one thing you don't know about me, just know I love a turn mango. That is like the best thing ever. All right, now here's the glam shot. Yes, honey child. We had some good pregnancy photos. I was like, listen, we went to Miami, and there's a professional photographer there that I booked. And he actually does photos for Telemundo. Like he does their makeup. Like he brought in the makeup artist who works with a lot of the Telemundo crew. And, you know, he does shoots and whatever with them. And he was my photographer. Now check this one out. Yes, sir. So she did my hair and makeup. One Spanish lady sorted me out with the hair and makeup. I was like, go ahead, honey child. And I must tell you that when you're pregnant, you know, a lot of you, I guess you go through moments of like, oh God, I'm so fat and I'm so this and whatever. But I got to tell you that in this moment, we have some other shots and stuff as well. We took a lot of photos. And I was like, you know, this is a time in your life when you should feel as beautiful as you possibly can. And so, yes, we had it going on, y'all. Marlon looked like he put on a few pounds since then, though. I must say. all the good eating. Oh my goodness. And then this is our little pumpkin. Oh my gosh, look at her. I don't know how old she was there, but she is something else. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. Jared, one day you'll know. You'll know the feeling.
I am in no rush. I am taking my time. I'm in no rush.
Mm-hmm. So Natasha says that boys cling to mothers and girls cling to fathers. I believe that because, boy, she is her father's eyeball. Oh, my gosh. She comes to me when she's, like, sick and stuff like that, but she's on peace. She loves her Marlon boy. Thank you, Magdalene. Sandra says, first time hearing of her makeup. I never wanted a boy. Have plans. A boy has a planned single parent. I never wanted a boy as a planned single parent. Okay. To me, it didn't really matter so much. Boy or girl, I wasn't all that invested in it. But, you know, when we were trying to figure out what we were having, and we couldn't really tell because the 3D was like, the baby isn't in the best position. But they said, I think it's a girl because, you know, normally boys, you can kind of see the little thing there. But we weren't really seeing anything. And so everybody was like, yeah, we can't say, but we think it's a girl. And then as we got closer, we kind of knew then that definitely it was going to be a girl. But to me, it didn't really matter. I kind of feel like secretly, my husband's never said anything, but I kind of do feel secretly like all men want a boy, you know, but then when they get a girl, they're like, oh my gosh, this girl is the best thing. And they're going to love the girl the same way. It's just that I think then they're thinking, okay, if I'm going to have 2 kids, let me have a boy first. And then if I can get a girl, like they, you know, that's what they want. But man, the second she came out, she looked just like him. And I mean, he just, you know, you never know in life where life is going to take you. So I'm never one to be here like, oh, I'm going to be married for a million years and this person's perfect. And that nobody's perfect. I think every day is a journey. And listen, some mornings you wake up and you can barely get along with yourself, much less a spouse or other people. This is the truth, Jared. And so if you find someone that you're mostly compatible with and you get along with even 80, 90% of the time, that's good. There's no such thing as perfection. And, you know, But I know one thing for sure is he is a fabulous father. I mean, I don't know, he might have other faults and whatever, I don't know. But when it comes to being, and he's a good husband too, but when it comes to being a father, I really lucked out in that department. Like, I don't think that you could get much better. I mean, he is invested and he will, take the time with Gianna, and he's going to sit down and read books with her. He's going to play Dolly with her. He's going to make her paint his nails and dress him up and put the clips in his hair. I mean, he is down for it. But he's also very, very firm. So sometimes when he puts his foot down, he's like, no, Gigi, this is what it's going to be. Then she comes running to me because she thinks I'm the softie, which I never thought I'd be the softie as a parent. But sometimes, she tries to get me there, Jared, and I'd be like, oh, no.
Yeah.
In line, child. But yeah. That's what it is. I'm still looking at this picture of her. I just can't stop looking at this picture this morning. Is that not the cutest little picture? Oh my gosh, she was such a cutie patootie. Somebody said yes. Every parent thinks their kids are cute. That's true too. Sometimes they don't really be all that cute, and you're still like, oh my god, my baby's so cute, and everybody else looking at you like, child, please.
That's true.
Yes, they'd be like, oh honey, that child not cute, but if you say so,
people be like, yeah, if you think so, yeah.
Yeah. But I think in my case, she was cute from. Oh, I'm gonna show you guys a family photo. Let me show you some cousins and stuff in the mix. I think she's cute. Like I can comfortably say that she is really objectively cute. Not just me as a parent thinking that she's cute. But look at this one. Me and my cousins and little Gianna, that was at her baby christening. I had more hair then. I don't know what happened to the hair afterwards. So you guys know that she was a preemie, so she was like super, super tiny. She still is very tiny, actually. We'll do a few more of these. Look at that. Look at that. My little Tweedum. She got on her serious face. Like, why you taking a picture of me? Who are you? Why you taking a picture of me and my mummy? That was before lockdown. There was that Cocoa Fest at Pedro. We had a fabulous time. Yes, folks. So babies, absolutely wonderful. I love babies. I only have one, but I really do enjoy babies. Yeah, it is what it is. All right, folks. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the program. Oh, look at my original baby, Coco. Oh my gosh, this picture just came up as I was looking through my pictures. I cannot talk about my family without still mentioning Coco. Funny enough, just last night, Gigi was like, there's pictures in her room of Coco, and she said to one of the pictures, she's like, yes, that picture over there is how I remember Coco. And then there's another one of me and Coco, and she's like, I didn't remember that one. And I said, yeah, she would have been really young at that time. We were going to do Christmas photos. And she's like, but I don't remember that. And I said, that's okay, but look at me and Coco and Daddy. Oh, Coco was along for the ride, child. She's like, all right, I'm here for it. Life, folks. Thank you, Perla. Perla says, Chris Scatta Hype Lamont is my favorite father role model, but all fathers are seriously amazing when taking the role seriously. Yes. I mean, I hope that ASAP and Rhianna will stay together, because some of these celebrity couples, I don't know what they be up to, but, they feel like they can come and leave in a relationship and it's not a big deal. I think that a father honestly plays the most important role in his children's lives, and especially girls, because there is something to be said for, the relationship between a father and his daughter. And it sets the tone, I think, for all of her future relationships and what she's going to tolerate in life and what she's not going to tolerate in life. And so a father lets her know what it's like to be treated the right kind of way, if that makes any sense. What are you going to tolerate in life? And yeah, I think that definitely that's extremely important. Jared, I see some rain outside, child. I've got to hit the road back in court today to watch another case.
Well, I'll be watching it live stream because.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us today.
Yes, no problem. Thank you for having me.
So, folks, Jared always jumps in. I know some of y'all be like, is Jared a co-host? And he's not. He just clicks on the link, and all of you can do it. But don't worry. Hopefully, in less than a month, we're going to be on air. We're going to have a regular phone number. I'm trying to get that sorted out now. I'm trying to get one of these vanity numbers. It's like one CMR or call CMR or something. So I'm trying to work that out, and I'll let you guys know the details of that number once it becomes available. And that will be a number that you can just call into the show. Bring, bring. Hello, Sandy, is that you? And we're like, yep, you're live. You're on air. Live and direct. Beautiful, folks. It's a rainy day in paradise today. Go out and enjoy it. Just be safe on the roadway, please. Don't be making any illegal movements on the roads. Just try to take your time. And hopefully no accidents. I hate when it rains, actually. I hate when it rains. I have to go out in it. If I can stay home, I would love it to rain all the time. But yeah. Anyway, folks, please be safe, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you for tuning in to another edition of The Cold Hard Truth. Make sure to check Facebook for showtimes and more information and the latest news at CaymanMarlRoad.com. Subscribe to our IG and Facebook pages to get the latest happenings.